What's the most heartwarming thing a stranger ever did for you? I took my son Ethan to his first ever World Series game for his 12th birthday, and what happened that day still brings tears to my eyes. I'd saved up for months to surprise Ethan with tickets to see the Yankees in the World Series. He'd been obsessed with baseball since he was old enough to hold a bat, and when I told him we were going, he practically tackled me with a hug. We got to Yankee Stadium early, decked out in matching jerseys, and I could feel his excitement radiating as we found our lower-level seats. I bought him a giant foam finger and a hot dog piled high with ketchup, and he was bouncing in his seat, chanting for the Yankees before the game even started. The crowd was electric, and Ethan was soaking it all in, his eyes wide as he watched his heroes take the field. A few innings in, the crack of a bat sent a foul ball screaming toward our section. I saw it coming and instinctively reached out, but Ethan was already on his feet, stretching as far as his arms could go. The ball sailed just over our heads and landed 2 rows back in the hands of a teenager, maybe 16 or 17, wearing a faded Yankees cap. Ethan's face fell, and I felt my heart sink for him. I leaned over to give him a quick hug, whispering that there'd be other chances, but he was already climbing over the seats, determined. I followed close behind, worried he might be too upset to think straight. When I caught up, Ethan was standing in front of the teenager, his voice small but hopeful. "Can I just hold it for a second, please?" The kid looked at Ethan, then at the ball, and I braced myself for a polite no. Instead, the teenager's face softened. He knelt down to Ethan's level, holding out the ball. "You know what, man? You take it. I've got one at home, and you look like you bleed pinstripes. It's yours." Ethan's jaw dropped. He took the ball like it was made of gold, his hands shaking. Before I could stop him, he threw his arms around the kid in a hug so tight I thought he'd never let go. The teenager laughed, ruffling Ethan's hair, and said, "Make sure you tell all your friends you caught this, all right?" Ethan nodded, too overwhelmed to speak, clutching the ball to his chest. I was about to thank the kid myself when the stadium erupted in cheers. I looked up, and there, on the jumbotron, was Ethan and the teenager, frozen in that moment of pure kindness. The crowd was going wild, clapping and whistling, and I swear I saw a few people wiping their eyes. Ethan didn't even notice he was on the screen. He was too busy staring at the ball, then at the teenager, like he couldn't believe what had just happened. I managed to choke out a thank you to the kid, who just shrugged and said, "No big deal. He's a good kid." But it was a big deal. It was everything. We went back to our seats, and Ethan held that ball through the rest of the game, grinning ear to ear. When the Yankees won, he swore it was because of his lucky ball. That night, as we walked back to the car, Ethan couldn't stop talking about the teenager, how cool he was, how he didn't have to give up the ball but did it anyway. I listened, my chest tight with gratitude for a stranger who'd made my son's day unforgettable. We found out later from a stadium usher that the teenager was a regular at games, always there with his dad, and had a reputation for being the kind of guy who'd give you the shirt off his back. 5 years later, Ethan's 17 now, and that baseball sits in a glass case on his desk. He still talks about that day, not just the game, but the kid who changed it for him. Every time I see that ball, I'm reminded of how a single act of kindness from a stranger can stick with you forever. I never got the teenager's name, but if he's out there, I hope he knows he gave my son a memory we'll both carry for the rest of our lives.